And the inauguration of the 45 confirmed ministers were held today at the conference center of the State House in Abuja. It comes less than a week after President Tinubu released the list of portfolios for the appointees, now ministers, which was again reviewed. The portfolios include former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who is now the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, while Abiodun, the Finance and Coordinating Minister of Nigeria's Economy, Adeniyi Oyetola, now in charge of Marine and Blue Economy. David Umahi, Works, Festus Keyamo, Aviation and Aerospace. Betta Edu, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, were among those sworn in earlier on. Don't forget, Bosun Tijani was also there, in charge of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy. Ishaq Salako, State Environment, Ecological Management. Adedayo Adelabo, Minister of Power, and a few others. You can actually go back there and check them.
Happy and confident that Nigeria is going to take a new turn. My ministry caters to private sector, so we are going to grow the small and medium scale industries, the micro enterprises, and also enable businesses to grow, industries to grow, improve trade relations with other countries, see improvement in our exports. Basically, that's what we're going to be focusing on.
The expectation of Nigeria or Nigerians is that you key into the hope agenda of Mr. President. Each ministry has a role to play. Coming to my ministry, we have to ensure that the rule of law, reform agenda of Mr. President keys appropriately into these areas.
A lot of involvement by all stakeholders, because tourism is about all of us, about our looks, our behavior, what we have to offer, internally, and what our externals are expecting to offer. And it's going to involve every single person, from the top to the bottom, and we can all do it. And we're going to start seeking everyone's support in ensuring that Nigeria is for all of us. It showcases us, and people come here and enjoy what we enjoy.
I sort of love it when I hear it's going to involve everyone from top to bottom, and I really do want to see that, because that's the whole essence of what Nigeria, or what can push Nigeria. Joining me now in the studio is Professor Abiodun Adeniyi. He's the Deputy Dean of the Postgraduate School, Bayes University in Abuja. Good to see you, and thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hit the ground running. That's what we always say.
But sometimes you also want them to start running without necessarily hitting the ground, which means that we want to start seeing achievement from like yesterday, you know, and of course it underscores the expectations of Nigeria. But of course, this is a new beginning, a new charge. You can liken it to the aeroplane preparing to take off. You know, when it wants to take off, you know, passengers will be loaded in, it will contact the control tower, it will pull back, get to the runway, contact the control tower again, and wait for a safe time for it to take off. Now the president has been preparing for takeoff, you know, all this while. You know, it has been given permission to take off, you know, on the runway. It has taken off now, no doubt, but it's yet to get to the cruising height. With the minister sworn in, it is taking off, right? The cruising height will start coming. Cruising height is usually very comfortable for passengers. That's when the pilot will say, usually 3 minutes after takeoff, that's when the pilot will say, okay, you can now move around, you know.
You can take off your seatbelt.
Take off your seatbelt and relax and all of that. You know, but we're not at that stage yet. But the stage we are in now is that preparatory stage and the takeoff stage. Perhaps when we begin to see achievements, you know, concrete achievement, which I'm convinced that with some of the ministers we're going to see this, then we can now begin to say that yes, we are the comfortable cruising point. Yeah, good beginning, no doubt. You know, well spiced with some technocrats, no matter what some people think. In my own opinion, I think there's a good mix of technocrats and politicians. And beyond that is also to say that there's quite some initiatives, some innovation, marine and blue economy, for instance, aviation and aerospace development, and of course oil and gas, oil, petroleum minister gas. So these are initiatives, and if you look at it, what it tells me is that we want to, and of course solid minerals as well. Going by what the minister said earlier on, you could see a focus on revenue generation, increased revenue generation away from the regular oil that we are used to. You could see that we want to start to be ingenious, to be creative about how we make money, and of course
because we have the resources.
The opportunities are there, but how do we harness it? And now again, we have a minister in charge of finance and coordinating minister of the economy. We had that, I think, from the Obasanjo to the Jonathan period with Okonjo-Iweala, giving our expertise. Now we have that again. So I want to see somebody. We're not going to begin to see somebody who has a drone helicopter view on the entire economy. We're going to begin to see initiative. Remember, in the Obasanjo-Jonathan period, we're seeing financial initiatives like budget envelope, economic, some kind of labs issues. We're seeing a little bit of ideological ideological driven administration, ideological driven policy initiative, But unfortunately, in the last 8 years prior, those things were no longer there. I just hope that we're bringing them back, but not just to mount some kind of quasi ideological pronouncement, but of course, it's also important for us to abide by them. Obviously, it's a new beginning, and I think hopes are high. That of course there will be productivity and efficiency at the end of the day, But again, you have to sympathize with these ministers, because the stakes are too high, the expectations are too high, So if they definitely do not have any option, but just to be on the top of their game. And once more, quite a number of them will try to deliver because for the sake of their name. But the expectations of Nigerians, you cannot also blame Nigerians, are rightly high. These expectations are two-pronged, Suleiman. One is at the level of the individuals, their states, those who believe in them, who are loyal to them, who know them, thinking that they can get one or two favors from them. Many of them now are beginning to gather CVs. CVs are being thrown at them, left, right, and center. Demands are being thrown at them, left, right, and center. How many people can they really satisfy? At the end of the day, you see them coming out with bad names. People will say that he didn't do anything for me. It doesn't mean that the person didn't really do, the person did, but maybe what the person did didn't satisfy the person who is complaining. Difficult situation. But the second aspect of it is for the minister to be concerned about strengthening of the system, strengthening the institutions that they have been given to man. If the institutions are strengthened, it will go beyond them. It will now be a case of institution taking care of the people and not they directly taking care of the people, because sustainability comes when institutions are strengthened, and of course it can survive, we can outlive them even when they are no longer there. It's not a question of they are persons now, but the institutions that they have helped to strengthen. And the point has been made severally that there are different ways in which individuals, strong, politically willed individuals, can support institutions. And of course, if you look at Governor Wike, for instance, of course, very unusual minister, you say it's controversial, but he's been proven to be a very good performer. But he needs to remember as well that he needs the political support of the president. Nasir El-Rufai made a name in Abuja because he's got a direct or indirect backing, of President Obasanjo. Whether it was direct or indirect, the backing was there, and he did all the reform, all that he did in Abuja. He left Abuja with a good name, and that's why up to tomorrow he's still been regarded as one of the best ministers that passed through Abuja, even if quite a number of people were not quite satisfied with what he did. But governance is not about satisfying everybody. Because some people get displeased with your policy. In so long as posterity is happy with you, the generality of the people are happy with you, that's fine. So Governor Wike needs the political support of the president to get going. And the president has also said that work for the people, not necessarily for the party or for me. Work for the people, for Nigerians, not necessarily your religion, your region, or any other form of classification.
Well, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, it's a fine place for us to say thank you for being such nice company. I know all through the week will be conversations, sound bites, just as we've seen from Yeson Wike, from the ministers, and action as well.
That's right.
And as your banner said, well, these people have come with, some of them have come with their testimonials, and that's what we're looking at the moment.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Do join me again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, it's goodbye and many thanks for watching.